Hi everybody, it's Terry with paperologist.blogspot.com, and today I'm coming to you as a member of the video design team for the Cutting Cafe, and this is the card that I'm going to be making today. I'm using some digital stamps from the Cutting Cafe, and here is the site, and the set is called Assorted Bug Circle Words Printable Stamp Set. And so I have set them up in Adobe Illustrator so that I can punch them out with my 3-inch circle punch. You could use nestabilities or a Colossal for sure, or probably print them reduced in Acrobat. And the stamp set that I've decided to use is from Sizzix, and I ordered this from Sizzix.com. And I'm going to be using the little bee stamp there. And I think they really match the sentiments perfectly. And you can see that with sizing the stamp, the bee fits very well. Just adhering them there to my clear acrylic block. And I'm going to be using the Memento ink because I'm going to be coloring with the Copic markers. And I'm just inking up the stamp there. And you'll see in future shots that the little bee appears a number of times because I stamped him several times trying different coloring techniques. There was the paper pack that I'm using, and I'm going to be using just assorted purple paper that I have there to make a little band on the card. And I'm just going to fold the card in half. I didn't score it. The cardstock is pretty lightweight, so no need to really score for that. You of course could. And I really like the stripes kind of complementing the bee, and then also just the juxtaposition of that with the circle stamps. And as I mentioned, I'm going to color them with the Copics, and I have an assortment of yellows there. And because the image is so whimsical, I'm not going to really do a whole lot with shading or anything like that. I am going to be using the Spica marker, and I'm going to use that in conjunction with the Copics. You could definitely use the stickles, and then that is some fun flock, and I'm going to be using the flock on the body of the bee. I think that's at Y06, and so I'm just going to quickly color in the bee. And as I mentioned, I'm definitely not going to worry about shading and all that kind of nifty Copic work there. And I'm using the brush point of the pen. I did try the Bic markers, and with the inkjet printer that I have an HP photo printer, the Bic markers didn't play nicely with that ink. Now what I'm doing here is I discovered that it would be better to cut out the circle before I do the flocking or any sort of stickles work. I'm using, I think this is called a Giga Punch from Marvy. Really nice punch, and makes it super easy to see there. I moved out the little guide protector cover so that I could see a little bit better. And when I printed, I didn't print close enough to the edge of the paper, so just take your scissors and just trim off a little bit of excess there. And you can see in this shot that I had tried other markers and some stickles, but the stickles did not dry super fast, so I didn't want to punch that out and get glitter glue in my punch there. When I punch, I kind of hold down a little bit and position where I want the punch to be. Now what I want to do is do a similar sort of thing here. I'm using a 2-inch scallop punch, and I think that that's an EK Success punch. So I'm just going to position it there, and then I give just a little slight squeeze to make sure that it holds in place where I want it to be. And I go ahead and punch out the scallop. And I'm using another Copic marker here just to color in the wings of the bee. And then I'm going to go over that with the Spica marker, and you'll be able to see that a little bit better as I get a little bit closer in the shot. This marker I think is called Clear, And the glitter in these are just, it's just a beautiful effect. So if you don't have one of these markers, I would definitely recommend it. And I like this clear one because you can color over the Copics, and so you get the color underneath, and you can see in the light there how well that glitter picks up. It really is lovely. And here I am using the Quickie glue pen, and I'm using the Fun Flock, and I think it's from Doodlebug. But the Quickie glue pen is another tool that I would heartily recommend. Very affordable. And the nice part about this is that you can really exactly control where you want the glue to be. I use this a lot with my silhouette too when I adhere small die cuts. And I'm just putting the flock down, and so a little flock goes a really long way. There's a lot in those little vials, and I'm just pressing down. And what I'm going to do is tap off the excess, and then you can put all of that Fun Flock back into the vial there. So there's very, very little waste. And if you could feel him, the bee is now fuzzy, and the little antennae are also fuzzy. I did that before in the video. And then I'm going to use this yellow marker again, and I'm just going to make some doodle dots around the edge of the scallop. And then you're going to see me, I'm going to go back in with another marker and just add a tiny little black dot, and I think that that's called a micron pen. And the reason I bring it up a little bit before you see it is it's a great tool to use with your Copics, because if you need to fill in where maybe a rubber stamp kind of missed, it's a great tool for that. This one happens to be really, really a fine point, but I know they make them in other sizes as well. So just going to finish that up, decorating a little bit just to enhance it a bit. Now what I'm doing is edging the digital stamp cutout with the yellow Copic again. And I'm going to go back and also edge it with the same black ink that I used. And you'll see the little sponge dauber there. Those are great tools too. I really think that they're really easy to use. So now I'm going to assemble the card for you, and I'm just kind of pre-positioning where I want everything to be. The purple band is going to go down first, and I'm just going to use some tape runner adhesive to adhere that down. Then I'm going to use some fairly low foam adhesive for the digital stamp, and then the bumblebee part I'm going to actually pop up more. So I edited some of this out, so I don't know if you'll see the tape runner or not, but you've all seen tape runners, so they all pretty much work the same way. And that's already gone down. There's the glue dot, or excuse me, the foam adhesive on the back of the Cutting Cafe digital stamp. And now time for the little bee. And I was originally going to do just one layer, but I really wanted him to pop up more, so I ended up using 3 layers of glue dots. If you were going to put this through the U.S. Postal Service, I would probably stick to 1, and because of the way the machining works. But if you're going to give this out by hand, I would definitely pop it up a little bit more. So there goes the little bee. And I've just put him off center a little bit. I didn't want to cover up any of the digital stamp words, but I did want to have that sort of dimension there. And then the last step are just a little bit more doodle dots using a white gel pen. And that finishes up the card. Thanks so much for watching. It's been great being part of the video design team for the Cutting Cafe. and I look forward to the upcoming quarter where I'll be just making primarily cards. Probably do a few more videos. Once again, it's Terry with paperologist.blogspot.com. Stop by the Cutting Cafe and you can pick up this great little set of sentiments. Have a terrific day.